Most aspiring SOC analysts study hard. They pass certifications, build labs, but freeze when they sit in front of a real alert. And the way most people are trained right now does not actually prepare them to investigate. In this video, I am going to break down the real reasons as to why most analysts struggle when it comes to investigations and what you can do about it. If this is the first time that we're meeting, hello, my name is Steven and I've been working in cybersecurity for about a decade, mainly within the security operations domain. And I run a free community for aspiring SOC analysts, so if you do want to be surrounded with like-minded individuals, go ahead and check that out. Now, let me tell you what I've seen firsthand, because this is a pattern that keeps showing up over and over again. I have watched plenty of junior analysts pick up an alert and do nothing beyond what the alert already tells them. The alert says, hey, suspicious login from this IP at this time on this host. And the analyst writes exactly that. Suspicious login from this IP at this time on this host. And that's it. No deeper investigation, no additional context, just a copy and paste of what the tool already surfaced. Now, I'm not saying this to call anyone out, but there is just no real value in that. The alert already told you that information. Your job as an analyst is to go beyond what the alert gives you and figure out what actually happened. And if you are not doing that, then you are essentially just a middleman between the detection tool and the ticket. So why does this keep happening? Well, there are a few reasons that I can think of, and they actually build on each other. So let me walk you through them. Starting with number one, no clear objective. A lot of analysts do not have a clear objective when they start an investigation. They will open up an alert and just start clicking around, hoping that something stands out. But if you do not know what you are trying to answer, you are going to waste a lot of time looking at things that do not matter. Every investigation should start off with a question. What am I trying to confirm or rule out? Is this a true positive or a false positive? If it is real, what is the scope? How far did it go? When you have that objective in mind, it will give you direction. It tells you where to look and what logs to pull from. But without it, you're essentially just browsing, and that right there is where a lot of people get stuck. They are not investigating, they're just scrolling around. Number two, not knowing what questions to ask. Now, even if you do have a clear objective, the next problem is not knowing what questions to ask. And this is where it can get tricky because investigations are driven by questions. Let me give you an example. Say that you get a brute force alert. A lot of beginners will look at the alert and say, okay, there were multiple failed logins. That is true. But what questions should follow? Was there a successful login after the failures? If so, what did that account do? Were there any lateral movement indicators? Did the source IP show up anywhere else in the environment? And was this a known IP or just something external? Each question should lead you to the next one, and each answer either confirms your hypothesis or sends you to a new direction. But if you do not know what questions to ask in the first place, you end up stopping at the surface. You close the alert with a one-liner and move on, or you escalate it. Number three, not knowing what bad looks like. Now, keep in mind that every environment is different. What looks suspicious in one organization might be completely normal in another. But there are patterns of malicious activity that do show up across environments. And a lot of analysts do not actually know what those patterns look like inside of logs. If you have never seen what a real attack looks like when you are staring at raw telemetry, how are you supposed to spot one? If you do not know what normal authentication patterns look like for a particular environment, how would you know that something is off? This right here is one of the biggest gaps that I see. Analysts can define what a brute force attack is. They can even tell you what the MITRE ATT&CK technique ID is. But when it comes to the evidence that is sitting in front of them mixed in with thousands of other events, they can't pick it out. Number four, training data is too clean. A lot of training environments only give you logs that are relevant to the investigation. There's no noise, there's no legitimate activity mixed in. You're looking at a clean data set where the malicious activity is actually just jumping right out at you. But in a real SOC environment, you're dealing with thousands, if not millions of events, and most of them are benign. You have to sift through all of that noise to find the one that matters. And if you only have ever trained in clean environments, that transition is gonna hit you really hard. Number five, just theory and no application. There are people who have done a lot of studying but never actually applied it. They can tell you about the incident response lifecycle, they can name every single phase in it. They can describe what a SOC does at a high level, but they have never actually worked an alert. They have never pulled logs and tried to figure out what happened. Theory alone, unfortunately, does not build investigative skills. You cannot read your way into being a good analyst. At some point, you do have to sit down, open up a sim, look at real or simulated data, and then start making decisions. What do I look for first? What does that event tell me? Where do I go next? That process of actually doing the work is what's going to build the muscle. So, if any of this sounds familiar, here is what I would recommend. Start by building up the habit of asking questions before you touch anything. When you open up an alert or start a lab, write down what you're trying to answer. What is my objective? What do I expect to find? That alone is going to change how you approach investigations. Next, expose yourself to what normal looks like. Spin up a home lab, generate normal traffic, browse the web, maybe log in and log out, and run some updates. Then take a look at your logs and get familiar with what baseline looks like. Because once you know what normal is, abnormal starts to stand out. When you get to an interview and they ask, walk me through how you would investigate a suspicious alert, they are not looking for textbook definitions. They want to hear your thought process. What questions would you ask? What logs would you look at? And how would you determine if this was a real threat? And if you have been practicing the right way, that answer is going to come naturally because you had already done it. So if you have been feeling stuck or like you're not improving, take a step back and ask yourself, honestly, am I actually investigating or am I just following instructions? Because that one question will shift everything. Now, if you are at a point where you want to practice investigating in an environment that is not clean and not guided, that is what you'll find inside the Forge. Our members work through investigations using real alerts that are generated from real threats, targeting our SOC client. That means real noise, real logs, and no step-by-step walkthrough telling you where to click. You have to figure it out the same way that you would do on the job. If that's the kind of practice that you're looking for, then I would highly recommend checking it out. Link will be in the description down below. That is it for the video, and I hope that you found that informative. If you did, let me know by hitting that like button or subscribe if you want to. Remember to stay curious and do things differently.